Hey, what's going on, fam? So another video, real quick. Um, Today I want to talk about Keisha Bottoms and Killer Mike and Ti having a press conference in Atlanta. Whereas you guys know, my last two videos I've talked about, first of all, who's really out here um, promoting a lot of the looting and rioting, and it's not black people or not just black people. And number two, I also talked about how um, the riots for the black people who are rioting and looting and burning down stuff. It's a good thing. First of all, there's a couple of other talking points because there's so many talking points. White supremacy is all about deflection, distraction, and misdirection. So there are so many talking points out here meant to convince and manipulate and gaslight black people into thinking that their anger and their righteous anger and their looting and rioting is unjustified. One of the points that I didn't mention was a first of all, white people glorify violence for their own freedom. When Osama bin Laden and other terrorists attack America, what was America's response? Violence. They didn't say, let's go out here and march and hug and show the terrorists that we're good people and let's hug and kiss the terrorists into understanding. And they didn't paint it as a misunderstanding between the terrorists and America. You see, with black people, it's always a misunderstanding. It's always a two-sided thing where neither side trusts each other, quote unquote, where neither side um, really has sought to quote unquote understand each other, and both sides unfairly hate the other side, and that's not the case. It's only a one-sided thing. That's like saying with a rapist, oh well, with a rapist we're gonna have the rape victim hug and kiss the rapist and talk it out with the rapist and get get the rapist and the rape victim to understand each other better, because they don't understand each other they don't understand each other, and they don't understand each other's points of views, and they don't understand what each other went through. No, it's a one-sided thing. Only with black people and white supremacy does it become a two-way thing. And also does it become a thing where you have the responses hugs and kisses and doing any kind of violence, even if it's not against people, it's just against property, which is what these riots are. It's violence against property, not people. The only violence is coming from the race soldiers and cops. It's violence against property, not people. Yet when white people have anything done to them, we can go back to the American Revolution, when their freedom is threatened, when violence and terrorism is used against white people, because that's what white supremacy is, it's terrorism. When that's used against white people, the natural and okay response is to fight back with violence. Is to bring the full force of the U.S. military, to have an American Revolution, and this is all glorified. But with black people, it's all about hugs and kisses. Fam, these talking points are from the white supremacists, as I emphasized in my last video. And the reason why I'm talking about Killer Mike and Keisha Bottoms and T.I. is because they came out like typical black sock puppets, typical paid agents of white supremacy, denouncing the riots. And these are signs that these people are sellouts. If you didn't already know, like people like myself already knew these people were sellouts and paid agents of white supremacy, when people come out saying stuff like this, any black celebrity or politician who comes out denouncing the riots is a paid agent of white supremacy. Point blank, period. Just like any black person, politician, or celebrity who came out defending Joe Biden's "You Ain't Black." These things are signs that black people should be taking notes of and understanding that these are people who are off code and against us. If you didn't already know that before they said those things, these things should be signs. As a matter of fact, let me just read some of them. I'm not going to read the whole article, but let me just read some of the article. So this is an article from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It says, Atlanta hip-hop stars T.I., Killer Mike, and others try reason amid the chaos. Amid the chaos in downtown Atlanta Friday night, two of the city's most visible advocates, Killer Mike and T.I., joined Mayor Keisha Bottoms to speak directly to their native city. If we lose Atlanta, what else we got? This is Killer Mike. We lose an ability to plot, to plan, to strategize, to organize, and properly mobilize, said Killer Mike, aka Mike Render. I want you to go home. I want you to talk to 10 of your friends. I want you guys to come up with real solutions. Killer Mike also advocated for the return of a community review board with the Atlanta Police Department. We need to get ahead of it before an office does some stupid bleep. They bleeped it out. Let's get ahead of it and give some power and give them some power. T.I. Clifford Tip Harris joined his longtime friend and business partner, Killer Mike, to speak passionately about Atlanta, drawing on the names of Dr. Martin Luther King, Maynard Jackson, and Ambassador Andrew Young as examples of those who paved the way for us. Atlanta has been here for us. This is Wakanda, T.I. said, invoking the fictional, and I want to emphasize that fictional because he's speaking about fantasy and babble, involving the fictional country from Black Panther. It's sacred. It must be protected. First of all, and I'm not going to read the rest of this article because it's a bunch of BS. And Big Boy, another celebrity, he's another paid token, and Jermaine Dupri. There's a reason why. First of all, the white supremacists told them to get out here and do this. This is not what they really feel. The white supremacists told them, you Negroes better get out here if you want to keep your checks and your income coming and keep your good relationships with us. You better get out here and stop this. That's what they were told. That's what the white supremacists told them. Killer Mike, he has a little barbershop in the Atlanta Hawks Stadium. He's all linked in with the white supremacists. He's showing up on all kind of white supremacist TV shows. He's all getting deals from Netflix. The, Killer Mike, because Killer Mike was out here trying to connect with the grassroots, and he's a washed up nothing. He's a washed up nothing rapper. The white supremacists took him and said, "All right, Killer Mike, we see you out here befriending people like Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed and even the A Dunce leaders. So if you don't want us to crush you and take away the little bit of money you got left, and you want to keep more money coming in, you're going to be used as our token fake corporate activist." That's why Killer Mike is up here running around with Bernie Sanders. I've been calling out Killer Mike for years. Killer Mike is a big slave. That's why he's out here talking this stupid stuff about go home and let's come up with real solutions. We have the real solution. That's why we're rioting, because nothing else works. We have to revolt. And you ain't offering no other non-rioting solutions except vote for Bernie Sanders, who's another white supremacist, or strongly suspected white supremacist at the very least. That's why he doesn't have any black agenda or black policies. And he's even worse than that. He's corrupt towards white people. He's sheepdogging progressive whites. That's why I refer people to those independent media sources about Bernie Sanders, because they don't expose him for not helping black people. They expose Bernie Sanders for not helping white people and the population in general. Ti, these cats are propped up. That's why they're always pushed out as the quote unquote activists. The white supremacists want them in our mix so that we will build up a false trust in them, so that when shit like this happens, they can be used against us. This is the same old white supremacist game over and over, using their black tokens and sock puppets and boule Negroes like Keisha Bottoms. And by the way, Keisha Bottoms, because she's out here scolding the black folks, even though while she sits back and allows the city to be gentrified. That's another thing. T.I. out here talking about this Wakanda. Since when is Wakanda gentrified? T.I. That's why this stuff is offensive that they're saying to us. It's bold-faced lies. Atlanta is our Wakanda. It's all we got. What we's gonna do without Wakanda? The same shit that we've been doing without Wakanda, getting gentrified. What are you talking about? Let's go back and read this shit. If we lose Atlanta, what else we get? We lose an ability to plot, to plan, to strategize. That's Killer Mike. And then T.I. Atlanta has been here for us. This is Wakanda. Where's Buckhead at in Wakanda? I didn't see that in the Black Panther movie. I didn't see a Buckhead, a gentrified white area of Wakanda in the Black Panther movie. I didn't see that, T.I. I missed that part. You're gonna have to Rewind the movie and show me where the part where they had a buckhead in Atlanta. Black people are on the bottom in Atlanta just like they are around the rest of the country. And the fact that they would get out here and tell these bold-faced, offensive lies tells you all you need to know about who they work for and what their real agenda is. And it's not to help black people. That's why Keisha Bottoms, one of your down ballot Democrats, is out here scolding black people for fighting against white supremacy instead of saying that this is justified and this is the frustration and anger, and this is what happens when you continually practice white supremacy and continually practice non-justice. This is the inevitable result. Instead of saying that, what a real grassroots down to earth black person would say, they're out here scolding black people and telling lies about how Atlanta is Wakanda. They're sellouts. Any Negro who came out here defending Joe Biden, if you didn't already know, those Negroes prove themselves as a sellout. Any Negro who's out here denouncing the riots, those Negroes, if you didn't already know that they were sellouts, that's your confirmation that they're sellouts and paid agents of white supremacy. But anyway, fam, the link to the article will be in the description box. You can also Google other links about this tokenism. Oh, and one last thing I want to say, fam. This is why I say that the code has to be the leader and we can't rely on personalities. Because as you guys know, obviously I've more so taken the side of Tariq Nasheed and the FBA side of things in this A-Dunce versus FBA split and dispute that I've obviously made a lot of videos about. But let me say this, even though I've obviously taken Tariq Nasheed's side a little bit more, even though I have also criticized him, this is why I say we can't follow or rely on these personalities. Because Tariq is not calling out Killer Mike. He's kind of low-key making excuses for him and only calling out Keisha Bottoms. And this is the problem why we can't rely on these people. And I'm not saying that Tariq Nasheed is totally off code and we can't listen to him at all anymore. Let me be clear. He still says some good things and he's still way more on code than the suicide down ballot A-Dunce Negroes who are telling you to vote for people like Keisha Bottoms. He's still compromised because he can't call out agents and coons who he's cool with. That's why he won't call out Killer Mike. That's why he's making excuses for Killer Mike. And I know you A-Dunce Negroes, you love when I criticize Tariq because I'll make a video criticizing A-Dunce and you Negroes will either not show up, you won't say anything, or you'll show up attacking and insulting me. And then some of you same people who were attacking me on a video criticizing and critiquing A-Dunce, if I then turn around and criticize or critique Tariq Nasheed, you're right back on my channel cheerleading, making comments, telling me how right I am. Right after you were just telling me I'm a dumbass and stupid and lazy and I'm not going to get the job done like you A-Dunce Negroes. So let me be clear. A-Dunce has also befriended Killer Mike. And they are not to be trusted as well. Now, I don't watch them, so I don't know if they're calling him out right now, but I strongly doubt that they have the courage to call him out because they're far more compromised than Tariq Nasheed is, if he is compromised. But like I said, even if he's not, this is why we can't fully rely on him or any other individual personality in the code, and anti-white supremacy has to be a leader because right now he can't be relied on to call out somebody like Killer Mike. And that just goes back to that I was saying also about how we can't fully depend on these leaders. And Tariq will tell you himself, he's not a leader. We all are our own individual leaders. The code is the leader. Tariq will tell you that himself. So this is not a video meant to shit on him or attack him, but it is meant to say that I'm not going to pretend like I didn't notice that he wouldn't call out Killer Mike and that he low-key made excuses for him. But again, the A-Dunce Negroes are no better. They're just as cozy with Killer Mike. But anyway, again, article will be in the description box. That's another video, fam. Like, share, subscribe, and peace.